Bump, bump, bump. What up? What up? What up? So yeah, man, check it out. So we just made it to the shipper in Houston, Texas, and we going in right now, man, for to go, check in and try to get this, get this ball rolling. So it's one of those, loads, man, that kind of popped up on me, it was kind of, a little blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? So kind of figured I was gonna be stuck kind of in Houston with nothing to do for the weekend. A lot of times when you try to book loads last minute on Fridays, stuff like that, it's kind of hard. So I've had loads before. I've had this actually got to certain places and without a pre-planned load and get there and end up, sitting there all weekend. Deliver somewhere like on a Friday and end up being stuck there all the way until like the next following Monday before I actually got something out of there. So you always want to try to, you have your pre-plans and stuff like that, man, already set up. Especially if you're in a certain area where it's not a lot going on, and then you get caught up like that, man, you be looking kind of crazy. So uh, you definitely already want to have your load set up. You better already have you something that picks up on, or basically just a load that already gonna carry you through the weekend. But of course, a lot of drive van stuff like that. I'm not really sure about refrigerated loads, the reefer loads, and stuff like that, or flatbed step decks. I'm not into that. I did some refrigerated loads in the past, and I do know that they do have like a lot of odd hours and schedules, weekends, stuff like that. So, but a lot of the drive van freight, it is usually like Monday through Friday and stuff like that. So you definitely want to already have your loads already lined up, man, or something that you could pick up that's gonna, carry you through the weekend, so you don't be just sitting. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was one of those last minute kind of loads, man, that just kind of came up. Um, I kind of thought about when I was delivering today in Houston. I considered possibly deadheading on back to the city, back to Baton Rouge, and spending a little time with my son. I've kind of been, neglecting that a little bit. So I kind of had that on my mind a little bit, that possibly that was an option. But I decided to kind of look around a little bit first to see if I seen anything decent, and I saw this load that was picking up again today, and it delivers tomorrow before noon. So paid decent, short run. I decided to go ahead and do it. Check-in process, man. When you get in here, it's one of those little barcode like situations. Kind of go in and take a picture with your phone, and you fill out the information in the app, and then they say they're gonna give you a call whenever they got a door for you, and that they've been kind of behind a little bit. So yeah, you know what it is. Like I said, man, we back at it, you heard me. So still sitting there posted up. So yeah, y'all, man, you know what it is. Still posted up at the shipper. I already been here in Tyler too long. I'm complaining already. Ain't been up but 40 minutes. I'm mad. So it's one of those pretty good loads. Can't really complain at all about this load, man. It was one of those. Just had a decent load, pretty good load that I delivered this morning. The early load had to be at the receiver in Houston between 4:30 and 5 a.m. this morning, and as we all know, it's hit and miss. You're trying to find a decent load on the weekend. It's always best to have pre-plans, loads already stacked, so you don't have to really deal with that. So I was fortunate to see this load that picked up today as well and delivered tomorrow. So even if I don't get nothing else decent between tomorrow and Monday, this load here, it almost makes up for it. Makes up for the layover day that I'll be kind of sitting around Sunday waiting on some decent Monday. And so yeah, don't really want to sit here all day. It may be one of those kind of deals. A nice lady in the shipping office said to hang tight. She'll give me a call. Kind of like a work in type deal. When I booked the load, it was pretty much first come first serve. So there's not too many people here. There's another Landstar driver parked over there somewhere. So it shouldn't be too long, but you never know. Never know. This load is a hazmat load, so I will make sure this time to get placards. Okay. So last time I did a hazmat load that I picked up in Baytown, Texas, was going somewhere. The Carolinas, not really sure. I do know that I was about 20 minutes up the road before it dawned on me that I ain't getting no placards. The shipper didn't give me any, and I had forgot to ask for them. So I had to pull over at the nearest truck stop, which was in Orange, Texas, get out the paperwork, overlook it to make sure that it was, yep, hazmat labeled from the first row column, yes, and it was, it was too much to be, classified as unplackable, like Hazard 9. It was Hazard 2, Class 2, so it had to be labeled, and it cost me $20. I had to go in the truck stop. Thankfully, that particular truck stop that I went to actually had, no, brother, another Landstar pulling up, actually had those placards that I needed, which was pretty much going on with the man, which was that was a big deal because sometimes you'll go up in those truck stops and they won't have one. I learned my lesson the hard way by sticking those placards in the little containment boxes, the little placard thing on the side of the trailer without any securement. And I was taking a load one time. No, I'm getting off track, but I was taking a load to Florida, somewhere Brownsville, Florida, or somewhere in Florida, and did the walk around the trail and everything, and realized I was missing one placard and one was on its way to being missing. It was halfway out. So I went in the truck stop, and of course they didn't have that particular placard. So I had to drive to another, you know, truck stop, and I'm scared and I'm worried about all this kind of stuff just unnecessarily. So that's when I realized that sometimes I realized two things. Sometimes they don't have the placard, and I also realized that it's best to keep those clear, placard covers. So I went on Amazon and ordered me a gang of those, and ever since then, I put the placard inside the little thing, and then I put the plastic cover over it, and that prevents the placard from blowing out. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not trying to spend $20 again for placards. So I'm gonna make sure this time that I request placards, if applicable, if it's required. If it's, I'm not necessarily entirely sure what the class is or commodity is just yet. So it may not even, need placards, but we'll see. But so yeah, again, man, wrap this video up. It wasn't a video that was intended to be entirely long. Just wanted to kind of do one of those little navigational videos where you're showing yourself getting to the shipper and you're playing this little music and stuff, and then you're kind of talking, and you appearing to be very excited about it, and you all animated and stuff like that, and you talking about like, yeah, when you get here, you come in from over there, and then you had to like bag in on this side right here, where all the other trucks and stuff be at, and then you go in the shipping and receiving office, and they're gonna tell you for the, you heard it 1,000 times. But shout out to them videos. Yeah, I've learned something from them. You know what I'm saying? So, um, go ahead and wrap it up again. Like I said, it's not gonna be anything too serious. Just wanted to make a little video. I hadn't made a video in a few days, maybe a week or so. So just kind of wanted to put something else out there just to kind of keep doing stuff. It's Friday. Wish I had somewhere to go. You know, this load delivers in Dallas. There's all kinds of places to go, of course. But mm, I just seen somebody sexy. That's all. I just hey, I couldn't help it. I don't even know what I was talking about just now. I mean, I can't even remember. This video also, I'm gonna go ahead and say this about a young lady that I noticed in her videos recently. She'll never see my video. She don't, I don't have, that kind of traction. But just goes off for any of you young ladies out there who doing your thing. Keep your head up. You know what I mean? She said was having a horrible month so far. Someone recently bumped into her truck. Even if you do see this, you ain't got to acknowledge anything. Keep it moving, but just keep your head up. You're looking good out there. I told y'all from half of the year what I'm saying. I'm and the other half of the year, what I'm saying. I mean, it's whatever, stepping. Yeah, don't play with me, but so I ain't trying to stir up no hornet's nest and make nobody feel like I'm shooting my shot. Then like they just just being who I am, and encourage you. You know what I mean? And I see you out there hanging out. You're doing your thing, man. It's good to see. Looking good. I like the little drone views and stuff like that. Got to give me a drone. You heard me? But so at this point, they're gonna know if they do see this video, who I'm talking about. But yeah, stick to it. You did. But so yeah, you know what it is, man. It's what's up, world. I'm talking about. One time, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we gonna hustle.